some unwanted attention for hosting a training program on cultural diversity, costing taxpayers around $200,000, and it was on tape. The video, exposed by Judicial Watch, shows instructor Samuel Betances giving employees so-called cultural sensitivity training. Listen.
I want you to say the Pilgrims were illegal aliens. Say the Pilgrims never gave their passport to the Indians. By the way, I don't like the word minorities. How about emerging majorities? All right. Easy. Down.
Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack released a memo to employees pushing a, quote, new era of civil rights and broader cultural transformation at his department. And Jesse, this was broken on the O'Reilly factor last night. Do you think that was a good use of taxpayer dollars?
Absolutely not. They have a record of doing this at the USDA. They spent $22,000 of taxpayer money making an oil paint trip of Vilsack, an oil portrait. They also spent $1 million on an internship program, hired one intern. Okay? So it's
he was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a great intern.
Super intern.
He did a lot of work. But what I don't understand is the left has always hated pilgrims. Okay, they always said pilgrims came over, raped the Indians, and took all the land, and destroyed the environment. But now they're saying pilgrims are illegal aliens. The left loves illegal aliens. They just love. Do they like the pilgrims, or they dislike
the pilgrims?
The
whole left is
I don't
like
get
that.
it.
All of us.
I don't get it.
The whole left. Let me try. This is what Greg does when he sits here. He says the whole. Andrew's a little bit guilty of this too. It is certain people who do that. Do I think that's a good idea? No, I do not. I think it's a waste of taxpayer money. Do I think that the pilgrims and the people who came in forced the Indians off their land and murdered them? Yes.
Forced
It's
them
so
off.
weird, though.
Forced them off.
Wait.
Are you? Were you coming over on the Mayflower?
No, my family came over in chains as enemies of the state.
Yeah, and then they were a part of apartheid or something or like that. Let's listen to one more sound bite from this and get Eric's thoughts.
Together we can make an extension of each other's quest to make America stronger, healthier, and freer to work for all of us. Say thank you, black folks. Say thank you, black folks. I want you to say America was founded by outsiders. Say that. Who are today's insiders.
So, I think if I had been an employee required to go to this, Eric, I don't think I would have said any of that. I wouldn't have wanted to go in the first place because I probably had more important things to do.
Honestly, you have to watch that video and wonder if he was just being outrageous to prove a point, an opposite point. Like, you should never say stuff like this. I'm watching and trying to figure out, number one, I guess, I don't think it's an issue of $200,000 because by today's standards, they got a bargain. But wow, really saying these things like this, and then you're sure the USDA employees are like, yeah, America's owned by outsiders for the insiders. It's crazy that's going on.
Now,
Wasn't the USDA involved in a couple of issues though of harassment sensitivity issues too though?
I couldn't speak for sure.
What about those harassment sensitivity videos you have to sit through?
What about them?
What about it? Yeah.
There's sexual harassment training and sensitivity training in a lot of these different places, but none of them that I know that are like that. Andrew, I'm all for employee development and figuring out a way how can we enhance our employees' lives, help them do better at a certain job. Or there's like the personality test. So like if we would all take the personality test and Myers-Briggs and to find out what our personalities are so that we can all work together better. I think that's a good use of taxpayer money. But what did you think when you saw this?
I mean, are we really building our economy on sensitivity counseling? We wonder why we have a broke government. I'm actually surprised they didn't hire Bob to do the training. Just kidding.
That's great.
But am I missing something? It sounded like totalitarian brainwashing.
Right.
I mean, it was very, very creepy, and I think it probably scared the people. I mean, you walk around the office, you're scared to say something. It was very cultish. But also, am I missing something here? Why are they talking about immigration at the USDA?
Right.
Aren't there, like, corn prices
Right.
they need to talk about? Maybe something like that?
That's right. This is way out of their area of expertise. But I will say this again, that the Europeans came over and threw the Indians off their land, exterminated them, threw them into reservations.
Exterminated.
They
What
did
does this
exterminate
have to
them.
do with the USDA?
Well, I think that on immigration,
Why he used when he came in.
farm and migrant labor is something that they deal with.
So,
It doesn't seem to me like that's what
Let me
you're
get
talking
this
about.
straight, Bob. America's founding fathers that came over here, colonized America, made it the great land that we are today. You're saying they exterminated a whole race?
Jesse, you must have been educated.
You don't
in Chicago.
really believe that,
You
do
must
you?
have been educated, because the founding fathers came here 100 years after the Pilgrims came here.
The colonists, Bob, and all the principles
What
that
do you
came
think they
over
did-
on
what
the
do you think they
Mayflower.
did with the Indians?
Freedom.
What do you think they did with them?
What do I think they did
What
with
did they do with all those Indians that occupied that land?
They ate corn and they had Thanksgiving.
Oh, I see. They
Yeah,
all did
yeah,
that.
they
Get
drank
that
booze
turkey,
and
little
they
stuff.
wrapped
Yeah,
themselves
they
around
little cider.
blankets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
And
great.
they sang Kumbaya.
Yeah, right.
Professor
Then they
Beckel
told
over
them
here.
to-
You liking Beckel University? Do you have any last thoughts before we
Yeah.
fail?
Can we go?
Yeah.